This is Andi Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. It seems like I've just caught a daydreaming Nathan Gorman. Nathan, it's been a while. How are you doing?
Very well, mate. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. Now, wasn't expecting to see you here today. Obviously announced that you've teamed up with Wasserman Boxing, obviously Kala and Nissa Saulen. So first and foremost, most obvious question, where did this move come from?
It came about 3 weeks ago, something like that. Yeah, no more than a month. So about 3 weeks ago. Obviously, they got in contact with the management team. Said, "Would you like a chat?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'd like to," because I've always been a fan of WSB and the way they are. I've always been a fan of them. And obviously teaming up with Wasserman, and they got dates off Sky now, Sky Sports and stuff. I think it's the correct step for my career. I really do. I think it's the right way forward. Activity. That's all I'm asking for. And they've given me a good plan and a good route.
Nathan, I know you've had some family problems over the last year or two, of course, and I don't want to go over them now, but what else away from that would you say has been the reason behind you not being active as active as you would have liked to have been?
Truthfully, I don't know. Obviously, I've been training since my last fight. I've been in the gym and stuff. I was just waiting for dates and stuff, and it happens, doesn't it? Things happen. The thing is with boxing, it's not playing side to this, up and down, side to side, and loop de loop. It is what it is. But like I said, that was in the past. I'm looking forward to the new venture, new leaf, a new chapter in the book with Team Saulen and Wasserman Boxing. And I do believe I'm going to get good fights, the right opportunities, and hopefully, I can perform and do what I got to do.
I'm of course going to ask you, obviously, the split with Frank. Was that not necessarily an easy decision, but was it an easy conversation?
Listen, there's no animosity between me and Frank Warren at all. He understands thoroughly in boxing it's just business, isn't it? There's no animosity or nothing between us. I had a good four years with Frank, obviously. I had a good headline fight with Daniel Dubois. Granted, it didn't go my way and stuff, so I had all that experience with him and stuff. It's just, like I said, it's just a time for a new venture, a new leaf, and a new chapter in the book for me now, and I do believe this is a good one. I think it's going to be exciting. It's new.
New chapter in the book, new promoter, new television network to box on.
It's a whole different things, I've got Sky Sports, Wasserman, new promoters, so it's excellent to be fair. I think it's a fantastic opportunity, and it's one I'm going to grab with both hands, and hopefully, God willing, listen, it's not going to be for the ones who ain't going to try, because I'm going to try until my heart is content, and hopefully I can do everyone proud.
What is the plan for you then moving forwards in terms of activity? What has Kala and Nissa said to you about how they want your career to progress for, say, at least the next 6 months?
Obviously, my first fight, providing everything's fine, it will be November, December time. And activity is the key. Probably have a fight every 3 months for, every 10 weeks, 12 weeks to have a fight. But good opposition, good fighters who I can get a world ranking with.
Now, I spoke to your new best mate, Fabio Wardley, yesterday. As always, a great deal of respect from him to you, and I know you have had with him going vice versa as well. He once again just said, if maybe he used to fight once more, which from the sounds of it will be early next year, he'd love to finally the pair of you to cross paths. Seems like it would have to be for a British title or something, because it would make sense, but is that a fight that you would like soon? Yeah,
of course. Listen, as Fabio, I'd imagine, would say himself, if there's front runners for a British and Commonwealth title, I do believe it's me and Fabio. Listen, there's other people out there making a lot of noise, but they haven't, saying they want to fight me and Fabio included, but they haven't tested themselves yet. So I do believe, provided Joe Joyce vacates, which I'd imagine he would do, me and Fabio are the front runners for it. It's a fight, obviously, I'd take. Like I said, I know Fabio. He's a really nice fella, really nice lad. There's no bad blood between us, but it's just business at the end of the day. It is what it is.
How would that fight play out for you, Nathan? How would you expect it to? And we know Fabio's a big puncher, so you've been in with Daniel Dubois. I'm not comparing them in terms of how heavy hitters, but Fabio's power is certainly one of his main assets. How much of the experience you had with Daniel will that play as a key factor for you heading into a potential bout with Fabio? Yeah,
of course. Listen, I know what it's like to headline my own show and fight for big fights and stuff like that. I'm not saying Fabio doesn't, but what I mean is, I've had that whole build up of big fights, and someone's always got to go type of thing. But I've been beat. I've been knocked down. I've had my eye cut. I've had the waters tested. You know what I mean? Granted, I got stopped, but if it was up to me, I'd have still been fighting there tonight. You know what I mean? So I think my water's been tested. Obviously, I'm not saying Fabio hasn't, but it's still obstacles for him to come. And if he fights me, he knows as well as I do, I'm the man what will do that to him. It'd be a good fight. Like I said, I've got nothing but respect for Fabio Wardley. He's a very good fighter, and I think it'll be a very good fight when it comes off between me and him. An exciting fight, and a big fight as well. Could even be possibly bigger than when I box Daniel if it's promoted right.
Now, just moving forward, obviously some big heavyweight fights coming up. I want to get your thoughts on obviously AJ Usyk next weekend. What's your thoughts?
I think AJ inside 6. Listen, unless AJ plays the card where he did with Joseph Parker, where he keeps it long, you know, like Klitschko-esque type of thing off the jab, and does what he wants to do. I'd imagine AJ would try and keep it long, but on the other hand, he's looking very slimmed down. So imagine he'd be a lot more explosive. We all know he can punch, let's be fair. He's the man mountain, isn't he? So, but I just got a feeling under 6. I think he'll overwhelm Usyk. But if not, points decision.
And of course, your cousin Tyson, he's getting ready for that Wilder trilogy, October 9th. Again, your thoughts this time around. How much more of an emphatic performance do you think we'll see from Tyson, or different from Deontay?
Truthfully, and I mean this, a motivated Tyson Fury, happy, content, there's no one beating him. Doesn't matter if Deontay Wilder fights him 20 million times, Tyson Fury beats him. He's just one of a kind. But on the other hand, I'm not saying like it's a foregone conclusion, because if Deontay Wilder hits you, he's knocking your head into Jupiter, isn't he? Let's be totally honest. He is. The man can punch like a mule. But I just think he's too big, too good. He's just number 1 heavyweight in the world at the minute, isn't he? You know, he beats him easily, hands down.
Now, unfortunately, we saw this past weekend a sad stoppage defeat for Evander Holyfield in the first round to Vitor Belfort. I just wanted to get your take on it. I imagine he, like most boxers, was an icon for you growing up, somebody you still watch now, like most that I speak to do. Just wanted to get your take on seeing that defeat.
It's saddening, to be fair, because when you see a man like that, when you look back of him, like Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield, the fights that men had, that fellow, the greatest in the world, wasn't even good enough to tie his shoelaces, and for him to do that to him, it should have been an exhibition. You know, when he got put down, he should have stepped off the gas and carried him through the rounds. He was only there to put on a show. It's very sickening to see, to be fair, and I hope it doesn't continue to see the legends of the sport, because let's get it right, they are absolute legends of the sport, the icons. I hope this doesn't continue and they all come out and this keeps happening, because it's going to ruin the legacy.
Do you think fighters or people who have come back like Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. will look at what happened to Evander and maybe take note of it?
I think they will, because let's be fair, if it can happen to him, it's going to happen to anyone. Because to look at Evander Holyfield, you couldn't pinch an ounce of fat off him, could you? I wish I was in his shape and I'm half his age.
Final thing, Nathan, obviously we also saw David Haye return on that card in an exhibition against his friend Joe Fourier. Just wanted to get your thoughts about after the fight. He started to call out again Tyson, just your take.
I wouldn't, if I was Tyson, I wouldn't give him the payday without being horrible. He'd just box his best mate for probably millions of pounds. I'd do that. I'd fight my best mate for millions of pounds. You know what I mean? It's easy, isn't it? But he knows, and half the public knows, he's 41-year-old. He's not in the best, you know, not physical, because he's built like a Greek Adonis, isn't he? Let's be fair. But injuries and everything, his body can't hold up. And someone like Tyson Fury would hurt him, I'd reckon.
Nathan, as always, it's been a pleasure to catch up with you today. I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of your day and your journey back up north. Thank you for speaking to Boxing Social.
Anytime, mate. Pleasure.